Well, hello there, friends. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the 30. I am Patrick Jackman, your host of this weekly live broadcast. I'm also the founder and principal of the Jackman Group LLC, which is a training and development company. We want to thank you for joining us today. If this is your first time, thank you, thank you, thank you. If it's your, I don't know, we've been doing this now for over a year and a half plus. So thank you for hanging in there with us and bringing us into wherever you are, living room, dining room, on the beach. This is where it's at every Thursday. The 30 is a weekly live broadcast where we speak with leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, personal and professional development experts. Each episode, we bring in some dynamic speakers or guests, and we want to welcome you. So make sure that you put your comments or your questions in the comments box. We want to welcome that and make sure that you can ask our guests any questions that you may have or ask me, and we will make sure that we get you some answers. So tonight, I have a very special guest. We're going to travel to Raleigh, North Carolina, and welcome a good friend of mine, Alyssa. We call her Elisa, but her real name is Alyssa. And today we're going to be talking about gratitude, from successful brain surgery to a successful entrepreneur. I'm looking forward to chatting with her. I've been trying to get her on the broadcast for months now, and finally we have her on. So make sure again that you comment and make sure that you give her some love as we bring her on. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Well, hello again and welcome to the 30. This is Patrick. Our topic today is gratitude, from successful brain surgery to a successful entrepreneur. My guest is author and entrepreneur Alyssa McLean, and I'm going to bring her in right now because we have lots to talk about. Alyssa, thank you so much for coming on to 30. How are you?
Thanks. Hi, Patrick. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. I know that our viewers are also looking forward to it. So let's talk about Lisa. Lisa, tell our viewers a little bit about you and what you do. Yeah.
Well, I am, as you originally from Trinidad. Grew up pretty much in New York and have moved to North Carolina probably just about 15 years now, I want to say. I spent a lot of time working in corporate America for law firms, a couple of different law firms. I've worked for airline industries, and my last set of work was for community colleges and private colleges doing financial aid for the last 10 years. And recently, in April of 2021, I quit that financial aid job to become a business owner. I also am a mom of 3 young men and recently became a grandmother of a 4-month-old.
All right, Grandma. Well, congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Thank you again for being under 30. So the title today is Gratitude from Successful Brain Surgery to a Successful Entrepreneur. Let's talk about that and look at your journey. I know you said you were diagnosed back in 2005. Let's talk about
Yes.
that and talk about your journey.
So in 2005, I was diagnosed, I guess it accidentally diagnosed with a brain tumor. I got sick. I was home with the boys. They were very young. And I got sick and was taken to the hospital, did some MRIs and found out that I had a brain tumor. But at the time, it was just too small to do anything with it. So what the diagnosis was, that it's not cancerous, so we're just going to look at it. It's called an acoustic neuroma. We're going to just monitor it. You're going to go in and get MRIs every 6 months, and we're going to monitor it that way. If you needed surgery, we'll do surgery. If not, you can leave it be, because a lot of people that have it's very rare. It's a very rare tumor, and most of the people that have it can live with it. But that was not the plan for me. So I went along and I lived life. And in 2014, it got out of control. It started pressing against brain stems, and it became almost fatal. The doctor that saw it, he said we had to do emergency surgery. If we didn't, it could be very fatal for me. So we did emergency surgery. Surgery was about 10 hours. All of it was removed, so there's nothing was left in that for that after the surgery was done. And took some time to recover. Patrick, when I came out, I had no sight. I couldn't see. My head just kind of hung low all the time. I couldn't walk. When I came home, I couldn't sleep on the bed for the first year. I slept in a recliner. I had to go to therapy and learn how to walk again. Actually, my pastor and his wife was there every step of the way with me. And when they brought me home, he had to lift me out of the car to bring me inside. So it was that. And they thought I would be paralyzed and lost of hearing and all of that stuff. But God brought me through with hard work.
Yes.
Hard work, Patrick. It was hard work. But there are many nights of crying. We had to be rushed back to the hospital, but I overcame by the grace of God. And I'm here today. I pushed through. I'm here today. Because of the surgery, I still do get a lot of headaches, depending on the weather and stuff like that. And that's something they said that I would always have to deal with. So it just became a way of life. But for me, with managing that. But overall, I'm healthy. I have my sight. I have my hearing. I'm not paralyzed. I walk straight sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, that's a blessing. That is a
Yes.
tremendous blessing.
Yes.
How long was the recovery period?
It took about a little more than a year, because even though I had extensive therapy and had to learn to do all these basic things that we take for granted every day, just the continuation of doing it every day, it eventually came back. And for the thing that caused all of this was, I can't remember the names, but on each side there's a mechanism that balances you. And when I had surgery, they removed the right side, that part of it on the right side. So it threw everything off, and I had to learn to do everything over again with, just kind of adapting to just having that one mechanism on the left side. So it took a while. I still sometimes get dizzy and stuff like that, and that's normal because because of the situation. But for the most part, I'm back. I'm 99% here.
All right. Well, good. Well, thank God for that. And now your journey from that, and I know you wrote a book, so let's talk about that.
Did.
And when did you do that?
So the first book was Living a Balanced Life the Way God Intended. That was, I believe that was in 2009.
Okay.
And then the second book came a little bit later, um, in 2011, I want to say. It was out on Amazon for a while. There's a little story behind that, so it's not out right now. But I started working to get it published,
Hmm.
republished to put it back out on Amazon.
Okay.
So those are the two books that I have.
Two.
The second title is Hallelujah, I'm Worthy.
Okay. Okay.
And that just stemmed out of my journey, things I've been through, and comparing it to women in the Bible and how they, just comparing their lives to my life and how God used them, even though they had, misfortunes or they didn't always do the right thing, but God was always there and used them, and He would do the same because Jesus Christ came to redeem me back to Him. So He knows that I'm worthy. So I just wanted to let people out there, women, know that we are worthy. No matter what we go through, we are still worthy in His eyes. And
Great.
that's how we need to look at ourselves.
And now you're move forward now some years.
Mhm.
You've now gone into the entrepreneurial uh, world, and you started your first business. So not only two books, but you started your first business, and you started that when?
So that came about in, believe it or not, pandemic. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
And everybody thought I was just crazy. But it actually started the planning phase in 2020. And then we actually opened the doors of the store in 2021, January. So we're going just for our year's anniversary this coming January on the 9th.
Okay. And the name of the business
It
is.
is Flavors Ice Cream. Um, we carry 24 flavors of ice cream at all times. We do crazy monster shakes each month. We have 3 flavors of monster shakes, and that's what everybody actually goes crazy for. Our flavors of ice cream are then unique. There, we get so many comments on the ice cream itself, but the shake, it is the lines that turned out for these shakes, Patrick, was unreal. And again, that was nobody but God. When we just started in January, it was really slow. A food blogger came in, met with me,
Mm,
and he posted it on his on his TikTok, and the TikTok video went viral. And the
wow.
next day, Patrick, we came in, and there was a line of almost 100 people waiting to get in the store, and it
Wow.
continued that way for months.
That
And
is
that's why
awesome.
God was just all in it. I started with two blenders and 2 employees.
And how many employees are there now?
Now we have 8. We have 8 employees and 5 blenders.
Wow. Wow. So let's backtrack, right? So you started this thing in winter,
In
January,
winter, yes.
in a pandemic. You must have lost your mind.
Right. I mean, a lot of people thought I was crazy, but it was God was prompting. And
Okay.
a couple of things in October, we looked at spaces, and we came up with the perfect space, but there was somebody in that space and they wanted so much money, and you had to have all of this in the bank, and it just, that didn't work out. And you get discouraged. And the Lord just kept saying, keep looking, keep
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
keep looking. Because I was discouraged. And as human beings, we get discouraged when things
Sure.
don't work out. And I kept hearing the Spirit of the Lord say, keep looking. So I kept looking, and came upon this space, and it was half the cost of the expense of what the other space would have cost. It was available and it was ready. The landlord for that space he was very easy to work with. Everything kind of just fell into place, and we just hit the ground running. And like I said, and God showed up. It's like Noah in the ark. Just keep build it. It's coming. The rain is coming. Build it. The rain is coming, and that's what we did. And I built, and the rain came.
Wow. Wow. So let's talk about what was your motivation for the business. First, again, it's unbelievable that you started an ice cream store in the heart of winter, in the heart of a pandemic. So, what was your motivation for it?
Well, Patrick, we lived in Southport, and one of the things, my sons worked in an ice cream store.
Okay.
We ice cream was a part of our life, and I have a very very special person in my life that we used to talk all the time, um, and and that's one of the things we talked about, the ice creams, doing an ice cream store. Because one thing that I noticed about that ice cream store in Southport, North Carolina, was the very many people that came to that spot, and they would make friends, they would laugh, they would meet old friends, new friends, and it just brought joy. Patrick, anywhere ice cream was, you found joy. Whether it was yogurt, hard dip, soft, it was joy. And that's me. I am a people person. I love people,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to see people happy. And so that was the other motivation behind it. But when you have great support behind you, when you have, and the Bible also tells us that, he wants us to prosper.
Mm-hmm.
And it tells us that we need to leave some kind of legacy for our children.
Mm.
And I have three children, and my supporter, my special person, he's got a son. And so we want to leave a legacy for our children,
That's good.
and not only building a legacy, but up to today, if we when I go into the store, the families that I meet, I've met people in the last few months from, you name it, Atlanta,
Hmm.
uh Greensboro, Virginia. They saw the ice cream store on TikTok, and they came. We had somebody
Wow.
from Maryland online, waiting online. For the lines were 3 hour waits, Patrick.
Wow. That is
They came out,
unbelievable.
they came out with lawn chairs an hour before the store actually opened, and started lining up, and would wait that in the rain. It didn't matter if it
Wow.
rained, whatever. They were out there waiting for that store to open. And they came from everywhere. The places that we heard them say, I've come from this far just to try this. I've come from this. So there's nobody but God. But that was the motivation. You see all these clips and the news and stuff, and people just happy. The kids are happy.
Mm.
I've seen new friendships made. I've seen first dates, people on first dates. It's just, that's the motivation behind it. And so it's the legacy part, and also you just kind of working your own, you building yourself, you building your brand. So it's several things. And then, like I said, you have the support, and God in it. Can't go wrong.
So Lily Andrews said, and I bring her up here, is where's the store location?
The store is on 2831 Jones Franklin Road in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
It's in the
Okay.
Swift Creek Center.
Great. And Byron Mars says, we love your ice cream.
Thank you, Byron.
So yeah, so it sounds like if you've hit on something special there. So tell now I looked online and we
Mhm.
saw those shakes, and I'm going to try to bring the menu up and bring your website up here. But tell us, what was the motivation? There was like a large shake. It's huge.
So what we try to do again is we want to be unique. Okay, so we don't want you to just be able to come into the store and say, I want 2 scoops of ice cream, I want a scoop of ice cream. We try to be as unique as possible and give you an experience that will make you want to come back. These shakes are, they're pretty large. They have mounds of these big lollipops on them. They have these big cotton candies on them, whole cupcakes. They're just crazy. And so it's actually not about us, but it's about the customer and what they're
That's good.
looking for. You
That's good.
understand? And those lines told us what they wanted. So every month I take to pen and paper and I come up with 3 different flavors every month, because we used to just kind of anything the customer wanted, that's what we tried to do. But then it became too much,
Too
and the
much. Sure.
inventory and all of that, trying to keep up with that was a little bit too much. So we had to scale it back a little bit and do 3 a month. And then we have our signature one, which is the cheesecake one that everybody knows and everybody wants. So it's a whole slice of cheesecake on the top, but it's about what they want. So because if we have what they want, they're gonna keep coming.
Exactly.
So the motivation is them, the customer. That's the motivation. When they come in and you see, oh my God, I want that. That's kind of the reaction you get. And every single person comes in, oh my gosh, I want that. And you give it to them, and it's like they start taking pictures, you can just see how happy it makes them. They are the motivation. That's why we do what we do.
That's great. Let's take a 30-second break. And when I come back, I want to talk about some of the lessons learned and where you're going next with the business. So we'll be right back. So you're watching the 30, and I am speaking with my guest, Alyssa McLean, Lisa, and she is an author and the business owner of Flavors Ice Cream. Her first location is in Raleigh, North Carolina. So let's talk about what's next. I know we talked a couple of days ago, and you said you would like to look at some other locations. Let's talk about that, and then talk about some of the lessons that you've learned in your first year of business. Actually, let's talk about that first. What lessons have you learned during the first year of business?
The first year, what haven't I learned? There's so many lessons to be learned that was learned in the first year. Of course, one of the lessons is pleasing our customers. And when we opened, we had some not so good reviews, but we were learning. And now if you look at our reviews, they're up there, right? Because we learn as we grow. This is our first year. We've never done this before. So we take away those comments that was given. We try to take those and change it into a positive. So we that's one of the things that I've learned, is to listen to the customer. Even though I've been in customer service for all these years, you still learn. So listening to my customer, you learn to listen to them. That's the one thing. I learned a lot about construction.
Wow.
I learned a lot about construction, what to do, what not to do, who to hire, who not to hire. So these are things that if I should go into business, I know what to look for now. I've learned that you can't spend all your reserve just send your reserve out the door for inventory, this, that, and the other. You got to plan better. Like if you get credit cards, whatever, to help with the buying of the inventory, reserve your cash. Stuff like that. I've learned throughout this year. So there was a lot of learning experiences with this store. And I'm still learning. Learning.
So if you were to do it all over again, let's see here. Let's bring up, I think this is one of your sons. He says, you are so inspiring. Now, which one is that? Is that
Elijah?
Is that the middle one? Magaman. The middle one. What's up, Elijah? So let's talk about, if you were to do it all over again, what would you do differently, if anything?
I would do a little bit more research on the contractors.
Okay.
And don't be so trusting with everybody
Mm.
at first. And I know that that's an issue, not really an issue, but that's something I within me, because I am too trusting of people sometimes. And with this contractor, I did get burned.
Okay.
So I took their word for what they said it would be. And that's not the case. So you do a little more research. After I did some research, I found out some things, but it's here and there. It's already gone. But that's one thing I would do, is do more research on a contractor. So if you're building out, as anybody that's building out spaces and have to get a contractor, make sure you do your research, make sure you have their license number and all of this other stuff. That is really important. So I would do that differently. Like I said earlier, managing that cash flow a
Mm-hmm.
little better. I would learn to do that a little bit differently. So that way you're reserving some of that cash instead of sending all out.
Got it.
Um, so I would definitely do that differently. I would also do my hiring a little bit differently, because when I started hiring, I was just bringing people in. We would do the interview, and if I liked you, I immediately got you like a uniform shirt, and would do all of this background check, and that cost.
Absolutely.
And
Everything
then
is
they would
cost.
and then they won't show. They would come for the day and do whatever, and then they won't show up. So hiring, I would hire a little bit differently as well, but
Uh,
it's a learning curve. So
it's all a
those are
learning
some
curve. It's
things,
all
yeah,
a
that I
learning
would do
curve.
differently. Yes.
So, what would you tell someone that's looking to start their own business? What would you, let's say a younger Lisa would like to start her own business, or let's say uh, Elijah would like to start his own business. What would you tell Lisa or Elijah?
I would actually tell Lisa Elijah to run. No, no, no. Seriously, what I would tell my younger self, or I would say to Elijah. And it's so funny, because Elijah was here today and he was talking about an idea, saying that he may want to start something.
Mm,
So this is perfect. I would definitely do your research. It took me a long time, because I had to research everything that I need to know about ice cream and how to build this ice cream store or company. Um, but I would also tell Lisa or Elijah that this journey is not going to be an easy one, because people hear that they hear, oh, we can go into business, but it's not an easy thing, Patrick.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
especially if this is Especially if you're dependent on this for your livelihood. It's not an easy thing. And one of the things that I always worked and had that income and depended on that income, and would have health insurance and all of this. Please don't be deceived. I want everybody out there to follow their dream of doing whatever it is that they want to do. But do not deceive yourself into thinking it will be easy, because it is not an easy thing. Not an easy thing.
I'm glad that you say that, and I'm laughing because people always see where you are now, right? But
Yes,
they don't know where you started from.
correct.
Right? They don't know
Correct.
the backstory.
Yeah,
And sometimes, as entrepreneurs and small business owners, sometimes we make it look so easy for people to say, "Well, I want to be like that," but they don't know what it
right.
takes to get to where you are now.
Exactly. And I've had customers who came in and said to me, I want to open a store. I want to open a store too. And I would tell them, yes, you can. You can do anything that you put your mind to, but it's not easy. And I don't want to, when I keep saying this, is not to discourage anybody.
Sure.
It's absolutely not to discourage anybody. But I just don't want people to be deceived by the amount of work that goes into it, the things that you would have to sacrifice for this,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the things that you have to go without for this, the sleepless nights that you might have because of this. So don't deceive yourself on that part of it, and know that it's going to take. There's still nights that I don't sleep.
Right. Sure.
So, and I mean, we're still fairly new. It's a year, and there's still things that I'm learning. Still times when I said, Lord, did you call me to this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you want me to do? I've been going through this for the last month now, and I'm asking God, and I know it's not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna quit, but it's just that strength. Sometimes you just need that strength because it could be so hard. And yes, you have people pushing you and supporting you, and but you're in it.
Right.
So
Right.
you feel it, and you go through whatever it is that business is going through. And so, it's nice that I still don't sleep, and sometimes I cry,
Mm.
but
But there's no quit in you,
it's
because we know that it's going to be successful. Your youngest son Brandon said, "Whoop whoop."
oh gosh. Forgive my
your
children.
your cheering section. Exactly. So what's next? Where does Lisa go next? Where does Flavors Ice Cream go next? What is next for you?
Well, Patrick, I have already been praying and asking God to lead in that direction. Um, I would like a second location,
Hmm.
and I know that the work that actually goes, what the kind of work goes into that. So right now we're just, that is the prayer and that is the hope that we can do another location. I also have some other ideas that I'm thinking of for businesses, so it may not just be ice cream.
Sure.
um, but I'm letting the Lord kind of lead on that right now, like He did with this.
Hmm.
But that is my heart desire, is to have the second location, and hopefully in the next year or so. And then if we can start franchising,
Oh,
that
nice.
would be, yeah, that is where I would like it to ultimately be.
That is great. Let's show. Let's see if I can bring this up here, and I am going to show the viewers your site. This is Flavors Ice Cream,
Mhm.
and there's the menu. And here's the. Are these the shakes?
No, so you would have to go on the tab at the home page. If you
Okay.
go to the home page, click on the home tab.
Homepage. Yep.
Mhm. Right, just click that. And if you
Flavors
scroll down,
ice cream. Get your favorite flavors. Flavors
I love
ice
that.
cream.
go back
Flavors
up a
get
little bit,
better.
Patrick, at the
It's
beginning,
time
right
for
here. There's
Oh,
flavors.
one
there
of
it
the
is right
shapes.
there.
Yeah.
Comment or check our website
Wow.
www.flavorsicecream.net, or you can call the number 919-322-4100. Thank you for choosing Flavors Ice Cream.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Like, you are
Thank you.
doing some excellent things. Uh, Congratulations again. I know that it will be a tremendous success. Now you said in turn, there's Howard. Howard is
Oh
saying,
my
I want some
goodness.
butter pecans. What's up, Mr. Wallace? It's like the old crew is back.
Yeah, the whole crew is back. We're
Wow.
just missing Marlon, Miss B, and Michelle.
Yeah, and don't forget now, Carmelita.
Oh, I'm sure she's in there somewhere.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. Now, you said that you have, before we end, that customers can make some requests. So my request would be some kind of vegan ice cream or vegan shake. So that is my request. So make sure that you start working on that. Okay.
So, can I say that I have in the past, and they did not sell really well.
Well, so you got to get the word out. You got to get the word out that it is coming in. And here's my dear wife. She says, looks delicious.
Thanks, Stephanie.
So yeah, so we definitely got to get some vegan ice cream, some vegan shakes going. And Byron says yes. So Byron agrees. So make sure that we get some vegan stuff going. Spread the word. All right.
Yeah, marketing, marketing, marketing.
Exactly. When you have that, let me know, and we will make sure that we spread it on our social. All
Okay.
right. Good.
Thank you.
Now, before we end, every guest that we have, I know we're a little bit over time, but that's
Oh.
fine. We do what's called rapid fire. So I ask you
Mhm.
a series of questions, 3 or 4, and our guests quickly respond. So first one, what is your favorite place to vacation?
Sorry, I would have to say Miami.
Miami. Okay. All right. Okay. That's that.
I had the most fun there.
Okay. All right. Favorite food.
I will be roti.
Oh Lord, how would I? How did I not know that? All right, for those that don't know rotis, roti is an island thing, an Indian thing. So yes,
Oh.
it's good. What would be your favorite if you look at music? Your favorite type of music?
Of course, soca.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Again,
but it's contending with gospel though.
all
So
right. Soca gospel. Okay, I'll take that. And lastly, who is your favorite artist?
in regards to music,
Music, yeah.
oh, well, I just heard this group, Maverick Music City. Right now, they're on the top of my list.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, Lisa, you are off the hot seat, rapid fire. I want to thank you for coming into the 30. Continued success. If there's anything that we can do here at the 30, let me know. And of course, we're here to help as much as we can. So
Thank you.
much success as you look to your second year. And we'll be joining you in prayer for that second and third, fourth location.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Patrick.
All right. Blessings to you and your family.
Thanks.
So we've been talking to Alyssa McLean, Lisa, and she is the owner of Flavors Ice Cream in Raleigh, North Carolina. Make sure that you visit her site and make sure that you push her to get some kind of vegan ice cream going, or shake. But looks like she's doing some wonderful things. Make sure that you support her. Make sure that you support her business if you are in that area. So that's about it for now. We want to thank you again for watching the 30. Tell someone, spread the word around that the 30's on each week. So until next week, where we will have another dynamic guest, I want to thank you and may God bless you and your family. Be safe. Peace.